First highlight of week 2 of leg 2. Here's the square in Ponferrada. So I don't know how much of a highlight it is, especially since I hear a street sweeper coming and they're setting up for something. Or they just always have this stuff up. I hear the street sweeper. I'm going to try and get away from him, but there's the castle. You gotta go check that out. This is something Rob tries not to do, and that's go backwards on the Camino, but we are, because we came at the castle the wrong direction. We should have come from down there, but you know, since we've been here before, we just thought, we'll go a different way. Well, we didn't see the front of the castle. So yes, this was the view we were looking for at the front of the castle, which should have been the first view as we entered the city, but we decided to go our own way, which didn't work out quite as well as we wanted it to. Oh well, back up the hill. It's a beautiful view of that river going up that way, but the castle, you know, it's just cool. I love castles. I love castles. I want to live in a castle. Another very memorable thing from the Camino that I've always thought was really cool. It's a big old, huge wine press that's like really, really, really huge. I don't want to walk out into the street, but yeah. I remember this from the first year going, wow, what the heck is that thing? Now they got these cool QR codes that, you know, go ahead, scan them, learn more about Cacabeos. So we're coming down now into Villafranca del Bierzo, and that's the town down there. This is the municipal hostel here, and this is road construction. I love it when they're doing road construction. We stayed here last year with Marcos and Laura, and they had a hippie festival going on down by the river. Down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside, gonna, if I forget the words of this song, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. Yes, by the riverside. There was a lot going on when you talk about hippies and no clothes in the river. It was interesting. So this is definitely something new. This is Vega de Valcarce. This is not new. We've stayed here before. But I don't recall ever going up this castle up here. And I just talked to the hospitalero. He said it's only about 2 kilometers. Looks pretty high, but we have time. Would you look at that? There's a sign and everything. I can't believe I've never even thought about coming up this way before. So yes, this has been the steepest climb we've taken since Cinque Terre. It's pretty steep going up. I know it's really hard to tell, but trust me, it is. This tells you a little bit about the Castillo de Saracen. Yeah, it's all in Spanish. Something about the year 791, and then a whole lot of other stuff about the Camino de Santiago and Toledo, and you know, a whole bunch of other stuff that I really can't read. Villafranca, look at all that. The guy said you can't go in it, but he said you can go right up to it, so oh my goodness, hopefully we're almost there. The door's locked. Doesn't look like there's really any way to get over it, but it's neat. This is definitely Rob's kind of place. We're also really glad we sunscreened up before we came up here, because the sun, man, it's blazing. Now unfortunately, looking out the other way, we don't get a whole lot of a view because, well, there are these bushes right here, which is unfortunate because, you know, we're staying way down there somewhere, and from way up there we'd get a great view. Or if we're even up there, we're gonna walk around it, see if there's any other way, you know, that perhaps we might be able to sneak our way in. You know, where there's a will, there's a way. Rob has found his way in. We're not gonna be able to go any farther because there's another locked gate right there, but at least we're gonna get a little more of a view from up here, and nobody's rushing up here to kick us out yet. So we'll just take a view here, walk around a little bit more, and then we'll head back down. But yeah, this place is awesome. Whew. We have relocked the gate. No evidence of our arrival. Well, except fingerprints if they dust for those, but I didn't do anything. I just went inside, looked around, took some cool videos, and now we're headed back down. So we've come across this really cool place that has pictures of the castle and pictures that we couldn't get, but they're trying to restore the castle and make it actually into a pilgrim's hostel. Look at that, that's awesome. And they have a view down here of what they want it to look like. This one here, and this one here. Anyway, I picked up a pamphlet because this definitely seems like something, you know, they need helpers, and I think this would be something cool. So we're getting really close to the top of this thing now. Probably about 3/4 of the way up. But the weather has been a blessing in disguise. Even though I'm sweating like anything, it's chilly, and the overcastness has been really nice. But check out this view. So we made it to the top. The view's not too much different than it was. We're at about 4250 right now as we head into El Sombrero. Now we get the view on the other side of the mountain, the other side of El Sombrero. We get to head down. There's a couple ups and downs coming that we know about, but it's not going to be too bad for the next 13 kilometers. Very rarely do we see this guy not covered in clouds. Rarely do we see a view of any kind from here. Usually it's windy and rainy and cloudy and ugly, but right now everything's good. So we're coming up here on what is quite possibly the oldest tree on the Camino. There's a sign somewhere that talks about it. Did I miss it already? Maybe. This is a huge tree. I wish I had some. Well, we'll let Dennis walk up to the tree. Hey Dennis, can you walk up to the tree?
No, it's okay, man.
You sure?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's a big tree. Imagine how many pilgrims it's seen if it's 800 or 900 years old. I mean, that's hundreds of thousands of pilgrims. There it is, right out of the trees, right in the valley. That's the monastery we're going to. We can stay there in a very small place in the back. We've just secured ourselves some empanada and some chips and a drink. Because we didn't have any food. We finished our food yesterday and just didn't shop for any more. We're gonna look around the back side of this and hopefully there'll be a place for us to sit down. They have a nice little path that runs around. Hopefully it runs all the way around. So as we're waiting for the monastery to open, we thought we'd take a little walk. There's been this neat path that runs right along this little creek, and it's had a couple bridges. We're going to go cross over this other one over here. There's a little chapel over there from the 6th century that we were told we needed to check out, so that's where we're headed next. Guess we're only going to get to see the outside of the chapel. The sign said it's actually open at 3. Well, it's 3:20. It's not open. Nobody's here. I mean, there's a car, but there's nobody. So they have a neat little fountain here and a monument to pilgrims. And at least they got the rule number 2, because the pilgrim is at the top of the hill. He's not much taller than me, though. He's only about, 6 feet tall. But look at the size of those feet. Like, those are huge. Welcome to Sarria, after Santiago and Saint Jean Pierre de Port. This is probably one of the most popular spots on the Camino for pilgrims. If you start here and walk the 10 kilometers it is to Santiago, you get a Compostela. If you start any closer than 100 kilometers, you don't get a Compostela. We're almost at the top of the hill. This is the Church of San Salvador, and up there is where the castle is. There's not a whole lot left. There's that tower, and I believe it's private property, and you can't really get up to it. Well, last year Rob did a good job of scaling a wall that was broken, and we got some good pictures. I don't remember if we did video. If we did, we will definitely include it because it's neat. Coming up on our next town of Puerto Marin, and this is a cool place. It's actually one of those places that we've stayed at before, but it's got a cool story about this reservoir and bridge, and I'll tell you about it because I think there's some pictures coming up. Back in the 50s, they built a dam. They knew they were going to do it, and so the town, which used to be, down there, it is now mostly underwater. They say if you come certain times of year when the reservoir is really low, you can see the tops of some of the old buildings. But the church that you see way up there was actually moved stone for stone sometime in the 50s. According to this photo, this is when the dam was being built. The church was right there. So if we look out over here on the water, you can see that building we just saw right there, which means the church was like, now we need a finger, right there. That's crazy. We're a little off-piste right now, something we don't normally do on this part of the Camino, but it's the second day in a row we thought we'd try something new, and we saw a sign that said Castillo, and I think It's way out there past that. Yeah, really far out there in the distance is a castle. So hopefully we're going to get to see it. So that's where we're going. Pambre, San Pedro. It's a castello, not castillo. I don't know. They change words, different parts of this country. Maybe it's Galician. I'm not sure. All I know is I might not even have been showing you that in the last shot. What I do know is I'm going the right direction. I only got about 20 more minutes of walking. Well, to the castle, and then after that, I don't know, at least 2 or 3 more hours. Not sure how much of that you can see in the shade of this tree, but this is the Castello de Pambre, and Google says it opens at 11, so hopefully they're right because it's about 10 of right now, and it's not going to take us 10 minutes to walk over there, but dang, that's cool. The castle at one point was important to the Camino. It's not anymore. You can see how it's like really awful right there, but it talks about how it was important at some point. Even though I can read nothing because it's all in Galician. It was neat. We're now inside the castle. Very nice gentleman spoke to me in English and French because some things he didn't know in English, and I'm like, well, try French, we'll see. And that's the keep tower. That's the oldest part of the structure, which he said was from 1475, I think. Maybe it was 1375. I'll have to check that one out and get back to you, but it's the oldest part of the tower. And that's neat. So I said this was an escape route out to the river at one point, which that's pretty cool. I guess if they had to escape. This is the back side of this tower. We're gonna go up these stairs and see if we can see anything. So he said was the roof of the tower was made out of wood. It's not something you went on top of. Anyway, you get this cool view out this window here and these cool benches here. Check out the view on the outside. Don't drop your phone. Beautiful. Ooh, I don't think we can climb on that. Yeah, it'd be cool though. You can't go up the other towers. But this one, they have steps all the way up. I don't know that I want to walk on the glass. I mean, I'm sure you can, but oh, this is cool. Here's the view from the other side. Sun's coming out, so the next 8 miles are gonna be warm, but oh, it's beautiful. That is just neat looking with all the stuff growing on the outside. Anyway, we're somewhere where there was running water for some reason, or at least a drain. Drained right out through there. Can't imagine what it was for. Any guesses? I like all the benches at all the windows. I mean, clearly there's a lot missing. The floors are missing. I mean, there would have been a floor there. You think this thing's sticking out, and there would have been a floor on top of those. Yeah, this place is neat. I'm glad I came by, even though we're gonna be walking the last 8 miles in the heat of the sun. Oh well. Welcome to the Camino. This little chapel here is from the 6th century, and it was built by the Celtics when they first came here. Yeah, the Celtics were all over Galicia. This is awesome. We can't go inside, but this is a chapel that's really old. It's kind of sad that at one point this place was important to the Camino, and now it's not. The walk here wasn't extremely difficult. It was very peaceful. I saw one car, I think, the whole time. And it's a beautiful place that they've restored that's, you know, dated back to the 6th century. One more place I want to check out before we head off. There was some cool stone steps over here that we're going to walk down, but we're not going to video as we walk down them. Not sure where it goes, but we're going to go check out down there. Guessing this was part of that escape route that came out by the tower and then came down and then out through that door to get down to the river. Yeah, because there it is. I mean, we just came down whoop, there and up this way, and up next to the tower is that escape door. So yeah, very interesting place. All right, we really, really got to go.